Hi everyone, thanks for joining our session today. I'm Anna and I'm the Talent Acquisition Specialist here at Cummins. I'm also joined today by three of our current placement students. I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, please add them to the questions tab. We are excited to be able to share with you all the opportunities and personal experience we have working at Cummins. Students just like you have discovered us through Target Jobs and these webinar sessions. I'd also like to take you through a few slides, and I promise you they won't be long. And this will give you some great insight into Cummins, who we are, what we do, and how you can become a part of the Cummins team. Ben, please play this Cummins video.
In this shifting, driven world, the one thing you can be sure of is change. It's tough to stay ahead, but that's okay, just as long as you always know who to count on. We are Cummins. We create the power solutions people depend on. It's what we've done for more than 100 years. Sure, all that history makes us proud, but the future pulls us forward. However good we are today, we know the best is yet to come. Our business is endlessly shaped by our customers. What they need defines us. And what they say makes us stronger. Who are they? Everybody. But whether their challenges are personal or global, we do everything in our power to solve them. Because no matter where you're headed, we've got your back. And we're with you all the way. And we never forget how our actions impact the people and the world around us. So whenever there are choices, we make sure we do the right thing. This is what we do to power a more prosperous world. And that is never going to change. That's why we're always trusted, always innovating, always customer-driven, always responsible. For a world that's always on.
Thanks for that. Now, I really do like that video and I wanted to share it with you. It's one of the things that drew me in when I was applying for this job. So I think it gives you a good overview of some of the things that we have impact on. And as you saw in that, we were established in 1919. So that's 100 plus years in the making. In this time, we've faced many challenges, and to achieve success, we have a clear mission, why we exist, a vision, what we do to do that to accomplish, and the values and how we will do it. We do this all by bringing excellence and caring to our work, honour the diversity of opinions, perspectives, and people, and act with integrity and fairness, and draw on one another's talents to collaborate. Our success and winning depends on our colleagues. I know that is why we're so energised and confident about our future, because we know that our colleagues believe in what they're trying to achieve and what it will take to get there. What we power. So this shows you where our innovation has been used globally. We manufacture and supply engines, also generators and components for those products. And these are applied worldwide. You can see that we've got the Statue of Liberty, We do high-speed passenger rail, even the Route Master bus in the UK. But we have on-road, so that's anything to do with bus, defence, fire and emergency, lorries, trucks and motorhomes. We also support off-road with agricultural, construction, marine, mining, oil and gas, rail and healthcare. So this is just some stats for you. We have over 10,000 Cummins certified dealer locations with service to approximately 190 countries and territories. Around the world, we employ over 73,000 talented and diverse employees. Each and every contribution for the global team is critical as we advance towards a zero emissions future. And we have invested 1.2 billion to develop new products and improve our current technologies. So the operations behind Cummins. We have 5 complementary operating segments. In each of our operating segments, we can compete worldwide with a number of our manufacturers and distributors that produce and sell similar products. Our products compete primarily on the basis of performance, fuel economy, speed of delivery, quality and customer support and price. So we have the engines part of the business, power system components, the distribution business, and we also have Accelera by Cummins. Accelera is the newest and part of the brand. We're serious about being a leader in new power, just as we are in diesel and natural gas. The new brand was developed to transition the world's hardest working industries to zero emissions. Our products include battery systems, fuel cells, e-powertrain systems, electrolyzers. I think one thing for me that has been in the news here at Cummins recently is the conversion of school buses to run on electricity. That's just something I've taken from all the notifications I get in my inbox. Just moving on, we have Planet 2050 aspirational targets. So Planet 2050 is a long-range business strategy for the environment. Our goal covers 3 major priorities: addressing climate change and air emissions, using natural resources sustainably, partnering so that our communities are better because we are there. So what makes Planet 2050 different? It's science-based climate goals, it's absolute goals, design focus, employee involvement, and collective action across stakeholders. So we have customers, suppliers, the governments, the communities, and non-governmental agencies. Why you're all here today. Early careers. So we have opportunities for you all at Cummins seeking an intern placement or graduate role. As an intern placement student or grad, you're a very important member of the Cummins family, and you will be integrated into your team and welcomed and treated like any other employee. You'll be working on and possibly leading real live tasks and projects and contributing to the overall success of the business. You will develop so much over your time with us and will learn a lot of skills and a lot about yourself as a person. We're recruiting for over 100 students to join us for our 2024-2025 cohort across all sectors of the business. You're welcome to apply to multiple roles and locations, and applications are made on our website, or via the link on Target Jobs. Please make sure your CV is attached to proceed to the next stage of the process. A lot of people do forget that. So, although we have a large manufacturing cohort every year, we hire multiple roles across all different functions in the organisation. So we're looking for engineering, supply chain, manufacturing, quality, purchasing, health and safety, information technology, finance, legal, general management, human resources, sales, marketing, and communication. So as you can see, Cummins is not always about engineering. We need more talent like you to come and join us. So how do you get hired at Cummins? So I'm sure you probably have been to other webinars, but this is just some tips from us, from the talent acquisition team. So you need to strike a balance between keeping your CV short and concise, but to be sure to give some examples of your experiences or skills and link them back to your company values, to our company values. Show us how you would like show us how you would be a good fit for our company culture, and try and demonstrate the skills and qualities we are looking for in the job advert. The structure is important too. Personal details at the top, followed by education, any relevant work experience. You may have done uni projects, community work. Ensure you add your start and completion dates for your degree and achieved predicted grades. Then we move on to having a telephone screening call with you. So don't panic, our recruiters are friendly and we're just looking to understand more about you and see if you can think logically and apply the knowledge principles of your course. The questions are designed to be appropriate for any student, so are not specific to those studying engineering. During the call, you can also ask any questions you may have for the recruiter. If successful and shortlisted, you'll be asked to come for interview. So in the interview, the hiring team are looking to have a chat with you on Zoom to make sure you are a good fit for the role and that we are also a good fit for you. Managers will ask you technical role-specific questions. Also be prepared with examples for your experiences for competency questions. Just like with your CV, we want to know that you meet our company values. So use this time to go into detail about how you have acted in line with our values in the past and back this up with examples. At the end of the interview, it is your chance to ask any questions you might have for Cummins. If you're invited to a virtual assessment morning, you may also be asked to deliver a very short presentation. It's about 5 minutes with a maximum of 2 slides. And the brief for this would be given to you in advance. You would also have the opportunity at the assessment morning to learn lots more about Cummins, the roles, and learn from current student grads about their experiences. So I hope that was helpful. I'm delighted to be joined by 3 of our 192 placement students at Cummins for 2023 to 2024 cohort. We have Aveline, Shems and Lena. Hi guys.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
So we're going to be taking you through some questions and then hopefully we can have some time at the end to go through any questions that some of the students online will have asked. So I'll start with you, Aveline. Can you tell me where are you studying and at what university?
Yeah, so I'm currently studying at the University of Nottingham and I'm doing a sociology degree.
Fabulous. Shems, how about you?
Yeah, I do economics and politics at the University of Manchester.
And Lena?
I do mechanical engineering at the University of Leeds.
So we've got some mechanics in the building. Amazing. I think what I've tried to do is give you a good sort of example that we recruit students from different backgrounds, different studying. So I'll come to you, Lena, first on this one. What is your current role at Cummins? Can you tell us about what you do and the team you are in?
Yes, so my role is mainly working at the manufacturing department. So we mostly focus on the improvement section of that. So at the moment we're like split between improvements and investigations. So improvements is where I'm working. And so mainly if there's like any equipment we need to improve, any like tools, various things like that. That's normally where we come in and like talk to operators, see what the issues are, like communicate to them, see how we can fix it, because we also would want to know like if the changes that we're going to make would be something that they would like to see, so they can obviously like so they could be happy using it, and then that would solve, so that could solve the issue. and and there's a lot of like CAD involved in that, so it's pretty fun. Yeah, that's like the majority of like what we do here.
And how long have you been a placement student at Cummins? When did you join?
I started on the 10th of July, actually, so it's been like almost 3 months now.
So you feel like you've got your feet under the table, have you?
Yeah, like my
You feel
team.
like you're starting to learn new things.
Yeah, like I know it's only been 3 months, but I did like learn a lot of like information like I did not really like experience at uni, and like there's a lot of like hands-on experience here that we didn't really do much of at uni, and like a lot of like it's very like project based, which in uni it's the same, but like here it's like you're very more independent, and you can like kind of come out more, and like the manager and like your colleagues can pretty much see like where your talents are, just how you stand out really.
That's awesome. That's really good. So just Lena, for you, moving away from the day job at Cummins, what else is on offer? Are you involved in other activities? Have you got any examples of anything you're doing as part of the Cummins family that is not your day-to-day job?
Yeah, so it's only been recent, but we do have like an engineering society. So mainly organize like events outside of work. So I mean, so far we've only been like to 2 events. It was just like go-kart and like bowling. But we do
Yeah,
like
but
want to
everybody loves
expand.
go-karts and bowling.
Yeah, we just pretty much like all like shared our opinions and wanted to see like what everyone wants to do, and like those are pretty much the outcomes. So yeah, it was very fun. A lot of like I got to meet a lot of people from like
Yeah.
different cultures, different like doing different jobs here at Cummins. Um, yeah, and we tend to like always like have lunch together every day at the canteen. I know it's not really like volunteering thing, but like yeah.
That's really nice. It's nice to know that you feel like you belong and you're able to do other activities outside your day-to-day work at Cummins.
Yeah.
Aveline, I'll come to you. Can you just let everybody know where you're studying at what? And no, not that one. I've already done that. Aveline, what is your current role at Cummins? Can you tell us about what you do and the team you're in?
Yeah, so I'm currently doing a human resources placement. So I work at one of our sites in Milton Keynes. So in terms of like the team here, it's just me and my manager in terms of HR, and his management is actually based in America. But like there's lots of other sites like Daventry and Darlington, for example, that have a lot more HR team members on site. In terms of things that I do, I'm responsible for updating like our HR database systems, editing and sending out offer letters and contracts, whether it be to like the new cohort of placement students or other like full-time staff we're hiring. also in charge of organising trips. This is more specific to the Milton Keynes site, but we thought it'd be quite useful for us as placement students to visit the other sites and learn more about the company. So that's something that I've been organised with doing. And then other little projects that I have on the side are creating like an employee handbook and a photo book for our site. So there's lots of different things that you can get involved in, and depending on like the time of the year, you'll get given lots of different projects.
And are you enjoying your time at Cummins at the moment?
Yeah, it's been like 2 months, and I feel like I've really got like not stuck in the deep end, but like you get to, as soon as you start, you get going, you get everything given to you, but then you also have that support with you. And when I first joined, I had lots of like introduction meetings with a lot of the different members that we have on our site. So it was a nice way of getting to know everybody and feeling like you're really part of the company, which has been really nice.
That's brilliant. I mean, what I really like about obviously having all three of you on this call is that you're all from the different parts of the business, different parts of the segments that we have, and you're from Accelera, aren't you? So the newest business segment.
Yeah, so the site that I'm at particularly is like focused on like the sustainability goals we were going on about before.
Yeah,
and we can like test those batteries that we're creating based on the environment and things like that.
that's brilliant. That's what I really like. We like to evolve, but we've been evolving for a number of years, so that's really positive. So yeah, like with Lena, moving away from the day job, is there anything you get involved in at Cummins that is not part of your day job that you know you'd like to share with the students on the call today?
I think one of the great things about like being a placement student and then having other placement students at the site is that you can always like organize things to go out. So recently, like we've created like group chats and like we hang out at lunch if we're all in together. So it's been nice in that sort of sense to like get away from work and socialize on another aspect with everyone. And I think it's a great way to like network as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think from what Lena and yourself have said, you know, there is life out of the day work that you're doing, but you know, you're coming in and you're actually adding value and learning new things for when you go back to university. So that's fabulous. Can I just move over to Shems, please? Do you want to talk us about your current role at Cummins?
Yeah.
And tell me what you get up to in your team?
Sure. So I work in the trade compliance team, which is part of the corporate supply chain umbrella. And we're a somewhat small team, maybe 20 plus, but we're scattered across our UK and Belgian sites. And I'm based in Huddersfield with 5 other colleagues, 2 of which are placement students as well. The other 2 are grad students or previous grad students. So, you know, it's a fairly new-ish team, but, you know, we're full of people who've gone through the same placement and then grad procedure. And what we do in the team is we deal with import and export queries and making sure the paperwork is correct details or to stay compliant with government regulations. We classify new parts or parts coming into the UK, which any of the sites in the UK make. So new engines and new turbos, everything. We classify it and we deal with companies from around the globe on a daily basis regarding parts that we sell from your sites or part that we require from all corners of the world. And we also have plenty of new projects whenever there's new regulations, for example, Russian sanctions. We then have to have a project to deal with how we do our work and how we have to deal with those situations. Or one of the projects I'm doing at the moment is dealing over with a takeover of a Dutch site that we now have, and we have to deal with all the backlogs of transactions and making sure that's all in order. So it's a pretty busy.
I was going to say, you sound like you're a very busy person. I suppose for me, I think, and you touched on the point there, is that we're actually quite proud of our student to grad conversion, because you said to me that you know your team is quite new, but you know that there are students that were sitting where you are, and now they've had the opportunity to you know, become one of our graduates, which is fabulous. And I think you know, for everybody listening, we do convert a high proportion of our placement students into our graduate roles, and you get sort of first dibs on applying for our graduate roles. So that's certainly something you need to think about when you choose to apply for a role, is what's the next steps after being a placement student. Can you have the opportunity to apply for a graduate role? And here at Cummins you do. So yeah, very proud of that. So moving away from your day job, Shems, what do you like to get involved in? Have you been part of any of the networking groups or sports groups, or, you know, done socials with other students there?
Yeah, so like Evelyn said, there are group chats that we create. You know, you've got site ones, you've got all sort of general area ones with placement students, and they tend to organise stuff or have sessions within, you know, their certain sites. But what I've been doing really is volunteering. I think every Cummins employee has to do a bit of volunteering, which I think is a really good idea. So I'll be restoring, you know, nature pathways in the Kirklees and stuff like that near Huddersfields, with the other placement students around. So, you know, it's sort of a day out, you know, you're just doing your work and you're volunteering, but, you know, it's a nice little thing to do. But yeah, there are also sports groups. I mean, our site's got a gym and they have like different stuff going on there as well, different activities you can get in and join in with, as well as different plant tools. So, you know, I don't really see the manufacturing side too much. You know, I know it's there because I'm in the same building, but, you know, sometimes they offer people to go see how they do stuff, and, you know, it's just a bit different. You know, step away from your desk and explore the actual site is quite nice. But yeah, you can go for lunch as well. Like, we go for lunch and we try and go for a drink with the team, you know, at least once a month after work, so we can, you know, catch up and just relax around each other, which is quite nice.
Yeah, that's really encouraging to hear as well. You know, it's not, you know, I think at Cummins we really embrace our students, and I hope you guys have felt that. I've got one final question for you guys, and then we'll go over to the questions that the students on the call have put forward to us. So, Aveline, can you tell me and everyone on the call one top fact about Cummins?
Yeah, so something that I really enjoy about the company is the ERGs that we have, which are like the employee support groups. So we have we have quite a few, but one of the ones that I'm part of is the Embrace one. So it's like about promoting equality. And I know that a lot of companies do say they promote equality, inclusion and diversity, but like you can actually see the impact they're having, and you can also have your opinions and say on it, and like participate in the events that they do and even put them forward, which I think is really encouraging to see the direction that the company's going in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can second that. You know, there's a lot of ERG groups, employee resource groups, that pretty much is aimed at anybody that feels that they need that support, but they also want to make that change. Yeah, so thanks for sharing that. Shems, what's your interesting top fact about Cummins?
I think you mentioned it earlier in slides, but for me, it's the fact that Cummins serves, you know, 190 countries. You know, we've got 500 plus distributors and 750 plus dealer locations. And when you're dealing with trade and stuff, you know, every day is just different. You know, you could be talking to someone from Chile, from, I don't know, South Africa, Zimbabwe, everywhere, China. And, you know, it's just, yeah, it's quite nice. Everything's different, but it's such a big company.
Yeah, I suppose that shows we're truly global.
Yeah.
And we have touch points all around the globe, you know, all the opportunities that we have that are advertised are all in the UK, but if you do end up coming in as a graduate, the world is your oyster, because you will have opportunities across the globe if you put yourself forward. So okay, Lena, finally to you. Can you tell everybody on the call a top fact? Not sure what's going on. Hello. Oh, I think. Lena, if you come on mute. I don't know whether Lena's got a technical problem. But shall we go to some questions, and then we can take it from there. I'm just trying to find the questions tab. Bear with me a second.
Most of the
Aveline,
questions,
did you have a look at? There is. I can see.
There's one in the questions box, but the majority of them are in the chat.
Right. Okay. So I'll read this one out. Yash Prakash. I'm pursuing a master's in management at Leeds, which will likely be done by September next year. When should I apply? Because I won't be able to join the company in person and can only do part-time remote work now. So we do have opportunities for those who are pursuing a master's degree. These opportunities don't end every year. They are a continuous cycle of opportunities. What I would ask you to do is just to keep yourself logged into targetjobs. Check out Cummins' website, our opportunities and webinars, and getting ourselves out there to let you know what's going on is a constant, so you won't miss what opportunities we will have. With regarding doing part-time work now, I'm not sure on that. We do usually, when you've done a placement year with us, sometimes we do contracts for those returning back to university. So you can come in, say for example you're working on a particular project and they want you to come in and do a few hours a week, and that fits with your studies, then we'll put a contract together for that. So hopefully that does help, but keep your eyes peeled on targetjobs and on our website, because all the opportunities will be there. Harshal Patwari recently interned at Cummins India over summer. I wanted to know if that will help when applying for an internship in the UK, and if there's a different application process. What I would say is, if you've interned, that's fabulous. You've taken that step into understanding the business, and for you to be on the call, wanting to be involved in the next cohort, that's fabulous. With regards to the process won't be any different. Just make sure you've got that experience on your CV. So when our recruiters do review CVs, they can see that you have that previous experience at Cummins. I've got Dami Lola. Can international students currently study in the UK and having a 3 to 6 month internship as part of their course criteria apply for these roles? So the roles that we have are 12-month placements. We do have shorter intern placements, which are 12 weeks. So again, you'll need to keep an eye out on our website. And we do offer opportunities for both international students and students based in the UK. I don't know if there's any questions for you guys, students. Can you see any?
I saw one which asked about what motivated you by Juba Majawa. Why did I apply to Cummins?
Yeah, go for it. What motivated you to come and apply to Cummins?
I mean, for me, yeah, it was just had the smallest bit of experience in terms of what trade and supply chain management and stuff like that, and I just kind of wanted to explore to see if that's a career I wanted to develop full time. So I applied for 3 different openings at Cummins, and then they sort of said, yeah, you're gonna have to pick one of those to go forward with, which is fair enough. But yeah, so I went for the supply chain one, and I just something I wanted to try out, something new. And I'm liking it, to be fair. It's good. It's just constant work, and when you've worked at supermarkets beforehand or done little stuff like that, it can be quite monotonous work. But what I'm doing right now is different every day, so it's quite interesting. And yeah, I was just trying something new, seeing if I liked it. That's why I applied.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think obviously your career path is taking you from being at university into a placement, but I think you really see what the real world looks like when you go into a 12-month placement or even a three-month internship. I think it opens your eyes to what opportunities there are for you. So yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you. Guys, while I just scroll through these questions, could you have a quick look, see if there's any specific for you and decide if you'd like to answer those, and I'll see if there's anything that I can help answer. Hannah, you've asked, do you have any fully remote positions? Now for us, we've obviously moved out of the COVID years. And we are moving to more of a hybrid model. So with everybody that now joins Cummins, part of your role would be based at one of our sites, as well as some remote working. It really depends what you're looking to apply for, because it depends how much you need to be on site. So it's very role specific. So if you see a role that you're interested in, give it a good read, and it will be very descriptive of what elements you need to be in the business and what you can do working from home. So I hope that helps. Just having a look. There's a lot of questions.
I feel like the majority of them are for you.
Yeah. They're all for me. Oh my gosh. You're really testing my knowledge. I just so everybody's aware, I joined Cummins in March this year. So it's been a massive learning curve for me as well. I worked in recruitment for 8 years within talent acquisition. So yeah, this is my first step into early careers. So from my point of view, as a newbie to Cummins, and I've not been here much longer than the students that are here already, it has really opened my eyes, and the opportunities that I see that Cummins put on for graduates and students, I think it's amazing. And I think, we're very lucky to be able to open these opportunities out to you. So yeah, if you see something you're really interested in applying for, go for it. And we don't limit the applications. So say, for example, you're studying marketing and you see 3 marketing roles that have slight differences, but you think I could do all 3, apply for them. Because our recruiters, what they want to see is people applying with the passion and want to do these roles. We also have, we have engineering opportunities, which is open to the STEM community. You don't have to have been studying engineering to go into an engineering placement, because you can apply what you've learned within the STEM field to do the role. And it might open your eyes to other opportunities.
I saw a question from Mahak Sajal about wondering what hybrid placements are like and how many days would you be in the office. I believe for placement students isn't it 3 days a week in the office?
Yeah, Yeah, so it's 3 days in the office, 2 working from home, but sometimes it can be a full 5 days working in the office, but the majority would be hybrid. So 3 in the office, 2 days working from home. But like I say, we try to be as flexible and amenable as possible for personal circumstances. So, you know, it's worth having that conversation, you know, once you had your interview. But if you need details, the recruiter will certainly fill you in on the expectations for that particular business area.
And I was going to say on that flexibility as well, personally, like I've come all the way back home from my parents for a week, and you know, talking to my manager, they said, yeah, you can just work from home for the week. So you know, sometimes it can be very flexible if you need it. But they're really
absolutely
good.
And yeah, and like I say, it's also down to business demands as well, because you know, it might be a case of you've got a project you need to work on, but you don't necessarily need to be in the office, and you can just focus on that in your own environment. But being a graduate or placement student within Cummins, you really get a sense of belonging when you are a part of the team and you see your teammates and you're able to go out for lunch or go and grab a coffee. So I think it's, you know, I think it's very valuable, you know, to be in the office when you can.
Yeah.
So
also
sorry. Go,
sorry,
Lena.
sorry.
It's okay, go
Sorry.
for it.
I just saw a question from Jubair Hauer. Sorry if that's not the correct pronunciation, but he was asking about like what else you would like to do at Cummins. I'm assuming like he means like apart from work. So I mean, in my department, like it's not like we don't like work all the time. You know, like we've got like times where like just doing work. I was like my team, like some of my team members would just like pop by and like have like a conversation. You know, just more of like getting to know each other, like what our lives are like outside work, and a lot of like stuff like that. And like he was also asking if there are any hobbies that we developed or had to drop. um Fun fact, like golf is like a pretty big thing in my department. Might be a bit of a strange one, but yeah, they do really enjoy playing golf here, and we have like this like score sheet with like everyone's like high scores and all that. So that's something we do sometimes over the weekend. And yeah, and as for having to drop any hobbies, not really. No. Like you do get like a lot of like time to yourself really after work, because like in my department, like most of our work you do is in the office, and then like when you go home, like you just go home and do really whatever you want to do. So it's just like work is just in the office and it just stays there. So like whatever you want to do after, like you do have time for that. So it's not like university where it's like pretty, like it's very stressful, and like you know, you can't really like do everything or like a lot of things at the same time, because like always like you're doing like projects, you're studying, and you know all that. But here it's like pretty flexible, and you can, you know, like have a life outside of work, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I really like about this place. It's great.
Fab. I've just seen a question actually from Prefi Bouchan. They've asked, for graduate roles, does Cummins sponsor international students? Yes, we do. You know, I think we're quite proud of the opportunities that we can offer. We get involved in lots of different organisations, and you know, happily give the opportunity to sponsor international students. I don't know personally the ins and outs of what needs to be done to bring an international student on board. But that's certainly something we do offer, yes.
There's also another question from Ariba Jaffer. He or she was asking if they have any tips for on like CV applications when applying to Cummins. So for my experience, it was I would say like keep it pretty simple and short, and like make it like very specific to your role, because one of the issues I've one of the main issues I did have like at the beginning when I was like just in the beginning of like making applications for like jobs was that I did like pretty much tend to like diverge from the main point. So like I would like mention like stuff that wasn't really related to like the job, just maybe like more general things about me. So I would say like keep that pretty simple and just like stick to the like job like description. And in our uni we do have this like platform that does like CV checks, and like it and like you can like it tailors like the CV to the job you're applying to, so it's pretty helpful. So if you do have that at uni, like I would really recommend you do that before you actually submit the application to the job. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Can I also add to that,
That's
if that's okay?
yeah, go for it.
I think
Yeah, more the merrier.
something that I found like really useful when I was specifically applying for like Cummins is like making sure, like not even during just like the interview process, but like even within your CV, is highlighting those values, because Cummins is very big on its values and like they do uphold them, and that is really evident not only like when you're going through the process but even when you're working here. And I think that's something that like the company is like very proud on.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So I've just had a quick look through, and I think you guys are doing a sterling service having a quick look to see if there's anything you guys can answer, because that was really helpful. I've got a question here from Joanne Zello. Are there any opportunities for a graduate job in business management with marketing? Now, what I would say is yes, we have a couple of opportunities at Cummins. I know that marketing is a very popular subject, but within Cummins we do have, I think, 3 or 4 marketing opportunities that you can go in and have a look and apply for. Like I said, they're all on targetjobs under our area for Cummins. You can find out lots more information on our website as well, but do first of all have a look on targetjobs, and they will give you a good insight to all the different types of marketing roles that we have. So I hope that answered the question. So Tamil Selvan, I have graduated from mechanical engineering. Can I apply for graduate data analyst program? There's nothing stopping you. Like I said, if you feel that the job will add value for you and you feel like you'll gain a good experience from any of the graduate roles, I mean, it obviously does help if you have some understanding of the role itself, but this is a learning opportunity for you as well as you to add value to the business. So if you want to apply for a data analyst role and you've been doing mechanical engineering, please do put yourself forward. I think some people do have hesitancy in applying for roles that don't completely match up with what they've been studying, but don't let that put you off. But always, have a good read through the job spec, see what they're asking of you, and just make sure you can apply that, obviously, within your CV, within your interview, and make sure that's something you want to do. Aveline, would you be able to have a look at this question? What renewable energy does Cummins focus on developing? Do you know much within that arena, being at Accelera?
It's not the technical side of it, it's not really my forte per se.
Yeah.
But I know they're looking at like hydrogen fuel cells when they're creating like batteries. I think they've got 3 or 4 different projects at the minute. I want to say hydrogen fuel cells is one of them. They're creating like electric batteries, so I know they've got like a deal with like American school buses, for example, so they're making them all electric. So it's kind of, because Accelera itself is split into different components as well.
Yeah.
So we're more like the electrified side of it, but the hydrogen fuel cells and then like electrical batteries and stuff is the non-technical way of saying it, but that's around about where they are at the minute.
What I would say is as well on the Cummins main page on LinkedIn. So Cummins Inc. We do have a lot of information regarding, the renewable energy focus that we have. It also helps explain the different types of renewable energies or that we are going to be using within our engines. I think we've seen a lot of development where a lot of our customers are looking to move from diesel to a more sustainable way. And that's where accelerators come in, and different parts of the business are evolving to make sure that we have a cleaner future for everybody. We're always evolving and innovating. So to have people like you on the call that want to be involved in that would be amazing to add value to our ever growing student population here. So Sadiq has asked, does Cummins have jobs in renewable offshore and onshore energy? I think the application for the renewable energy, I'm not sure on that. I think your best bet would be to have a look at the jobs that we have advertised. I was involved in getting those roles advertised and uploaded. We don't have direct jobs in renewable offshore and onshore energy, but there may be roles that you can apply that interest. So certainly having a looking at our roles is a good idea, but also just have a look at us in general as a business and just see what we are doing within that space. When I joined Cummins in March, I was talking to colleagues and they were saying to me, Cummins is a really complex business, and it can take 12 to 18 months for you to actually get a grip on what different elements of the business and what they do. So I'm not going to know everything. I'm not going to profess that I know everything, but there are really good resources out there. So if you're really keen on finding out stuff that I can't answer, it is out there. Look on our Cummins website, look on LinkedIn, look on targetjobs, and that should give you a good base to make your assessment on. Have any of my students seen any of the questions you think you could answer?
Yeah, there's a question about how you prepare for video assessments.
Yeah.
For my experience, I didn't get any video assessments for Cummins, but in general, I did have other experiences with that. So I think a big one for me would be looking at pages Anna mentioned, Target Jobs, websites like that, and they do give you pretty good tips on how to prepare for video interviews, common questions, because there's a few maybe I would say top 10 questions that companies do tend to ask you. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's very similar. So those would pretty be a good start to prepare for. And something that I just did was open a video of myself, and I just filmed myself practicing answering these questions, and how you would look in front of the camera, because how you're interacting, and if you're just looking at the camera all the time is a pretty big thing for them, so they do really focus on that. So yeah, I hope that was helpful.
Yeah, that's really helpful. What I would say is when preparing for a Zoom interview, which is the platform that we use, I would make sure that you're not going to be disturbed, your phone's on silent, you've got no other apps open, make sure that your background is either blurred or cleared, because I'm telling you now, you don't want to see what's behind this. Just and do practice. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get it. You guys know how to revise for things. Come on, you've done your GCSEs, your A levels, and now you're at university. You can practice that routine of questions, and make your answers true to you. So I think that's probably my 10 penneth on that. Any other questions you guys have seen that you can answer?
Anna, there's a question for you about what
Yeah.
do you look into a candidate? I know it's a big list, but 3 points would suffice.
What do we look for in candidates?
Yeah, I think so. That's the question. Yeah, like three main points.
3 main points. I would say, I think a real key thing for Cummins is certainly looking at our values. So making sure that our values align with your values, because if you go into a business and the business's values does not align with what you want, and that you believe in and that you want to be a part of, that is going to be a disconnect straight away. So we look to see that the values and examples that students give us at interview align with what we're looking for. I would also say that be yourself, the best version of yourself, obviously, and just listen. And I think sometimes people get so nervous when they're at interview. Listen to what people are actually asking you in the questions, because you sometimes can run away with you. And if you don't understand what they're asking, ask them to ask it in a different way, because sometimes when people ask questions, if they're asked in a different way, then you can answer and be confident in your answer. And I suppose just we just want great people to join the business, that feel like they can be themselves, and that can really help us move forward. At the end of the day, you're our future talent, and we want you to be a part of our growing team. So you've probably seen the statistics. We're 73,600 in the business at the moment. I think we're probably nudging closer to more 80,000 globally. So, there is opportunities here. And, I talk to students quite a lot that are working within Cummins, and I will be when I go to the careers fairs as well. I think I've seen there's a really good mix of people within the business that actually have really added value. So, yeah, that's my answer. Maybe a little bit long-winded, but yeah. Okay, I've got a question here. I'm looking for a role in data science or other data analytics opportunities. Please share links on these. Thanks. So I don't have individual links, Emmanuel, that I can share on this actual call. But like I've said in other answers to questions, all our job opportunities, you can find them on targetjobs. You can find them on our careers website. And you can also find it on Cummins Europe, which is our LinkedIn page. What I would say is on our Cummins Europe LinkedIn page, there is lots of supporting information that should help you with your application. So please check that out, give us a like, and then you'll start seeing more information about Cummins come through on LinkedIn. So yeah, finally, we're now at the end of the webinar. So thanks ever so much for joining us, and being on the call for an hour, if you lasted that long. Fingers crossed. I want to say a massive thank you to our students that have joined us. and taking time out of their busy schedules to support me in this call. So Aveline, Shems and Lena, thank you very much. Like I said, if you want to connect with us on social media, please do. We use the hashtag #LifeAtCummins. So please do come and have a look at our LinkedIn pages, get involved, get connected. And we are really looking forward to seeing your applications come through. Take care, everybody.